episode 15 of Unlocked Radio right here on Morning Show Central Radio Network. I'm your host, Chip.
And I'm Rio.
And your mother doesn't love you and you're adopted. But we're here to provide you with gaming news, gaming perspective, and gaming discussion.
Be sure to like us on Facebook, facebook.com/unlockedradio. Also follow us on Twitter, where your mother might love you, at Unlocked Radio. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/unlockedradio. And if you forget any of that, simply check out our website to get all the info we plug here at unlockedradio.com.
Yep, if you like us, your mother will love you. Also, remember, if she's your Facebook friend, it's Facebook official. Don't forget to check out the other shows on MSC Radio Network, morningshowcentral.com/watch. Watch our show live and also join the chat. Listen to the show on your smartphone. Search your app store for the TuneIn Radio app. Download it and search for Morning Show Central in the app. Or you can just call into the show.
Call into the show.
Yeah. Call into the show toll free at 888-668-0742.
All right. Today on Unlocked Radio, like how I said today, now that we're at our new time slot, instead of tonight. Yeah, today on Unlocked Radio, Flat Out developer shows off next car games, damage modeling, and vehicle torture. World 1-2 Encore Remix album is now available. The Kickstarter campaigns for Project Phoenix and StarCraft Universe end with surprising results. The Long Dark shines light on Kickstarter. Chip hides his face with the paper. Mutant Football League takes the field on Kickstarter, and SingStar franchise reboots as a free-to-play game later this year. So grab your spiked football and prepare to get unlocked.
All right. Before we get started, let me just read a quick advertisement here for Lakewood Computers.
Testing.
Oh, they never told me I had to read it out loud. Just kidding. Anyways, so if you're in need of computer repairs or just want to cut the cost of ink cartridges and printing supplies, count on Lakewood Computers and Lakewood, Ohio to provide it all. For the past 5 years, we've been providing you with a huge assortment of computer equipment and services at very competitive prices. We purchase and sell pre-owned desktops, laptops, and related equipment. We offer outstanding prices on aftermarket printing supplies, including toner cartridges and ink cartridges. In addition to our cost-effective printers and computing products, we also provide service and repairs for HP LaserJet printers with a complete menu of personal as well as commercial computer repairs. With 29 years of personal experience, we are highly confident in our ability to enhance your overall computing experience. Check them out online at www.joeslakewoodcomputers.com.
All right.
I feel like
quick read. Sold to Unlocked Radio. All right, let's move right on to the news here because we have a little special thing for you today. We're going to be insulting some of your favorite games. That's just something we do.
What can I say? I'm a dick.
Yeah, we're dick bags. It happens. But first, Flat Out and Ridge Racer Driftopia developer Bugbear Entertainment released a video showcasing its damage modeling system in Next Car Game. It's literally the title, Next Car Game, an upcoming racer for PC platforms that the studio is independently crowdfunding via online pre-orders. Now, sensitive viewers be warned, the demonstration is basically 2 minutes of slow motion car murder. Highlights include the multiple angle launches, basically what a little car plinko there, ding, 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 and then scenes of brutal carnage wrought by devices specifically designed for torturing four-wheeled vehicles. They'll be waterboarding you with gasoline and whatnot. But Bugbear is seeking 10,000 pre-orders and plans to launch a playable preview version of Next Car Game when its funding campaign concludes. Now, of course, since we had a couple of our videos taken down for showing video game trailers and other copyright material, we unfortunately can't show you the video here on the show because, people suck. Certain publishers have a stick up their ass. So we'll be posting links in the description of the YouTube video as well as on our Facebook page, and then you can check it out from there.
All right. I gotta say, probably one of the most torturing ways to torture a four-wheel device is put it in the hands of an Asian woman.
That might be the case.
Yes.
Or if it's a fast car, you can just torture it mentally by having an old lady drive it.
Yeah, you can do that.
Why am I going 15 miles an hour down the highway with my left blinker on?
And then turn right from the far left lane. All right. Anyways, World 1-2 chiptune album released. My name.
Chips Tunes.
Encore has released in May. Now has a follow-up, World 1-2 Encore. The albums feature 14 tracks from artists like Corey Johnson, Video Game Orchestra, and The One-Ups. Hey, I know them. Anyways, unlike the first album, it is entirely composed of remixes, so the tune may sound a little familiar this time around. World 1 and 2 Encore is available for Bandcamp for $8, and both albums can be purchased in a 34-track bundle for simply $24.
Yeah. Now, whether or not you'd be willing to purchase chiptunes like actually buy them when you could just find them all over YouTube, download them forever. That's really your prerogative, but it's going to be obviously something of higher quality than just what you usually find on YouTube. And I actually know a few of our viewers and a few of our friends are really into the chiptune thing. So who knows?
That actually made me think of something for a second. You know how they have those toothbrushes that sing when you brush?
Yeah, the ones that go in the head. We were talking about those. Dina loves those things, and I don't.
See, I was wondering, can I get like that chip implanted in my dick?
Oh dear.
I don't know why that just popped into
And
my
what
head.
song is going to be playing? Just the faint sound of playground chatter?
Children laughing.
All right, let's move on before we get flagged for something else entirely. All right, this week in crowdfunding, the Kickstarter campaigns for Project Phoenix, Gridiron Thunder, StarCraft Universe, and Pro Pinball Time Shock all ended. Now, you know how much we love the whole the whole Kickstarter thing. We talk about it a lot on the show because it's whole indie games being brought up, and we get a lot of new stuff there, and it's obviously taking a bigger toll. Project Phoenix earned the most money and had the highest number of backers by a landslide this week. It hauled in over $1 million, $1,014,600, thanks to 15,802 funders. Over $1 million for just
like
people giving you money.
$5 a person.
That's
All right, my math might be a little off.
Might be a little bit off. Moving on, Gridiron Thunder, the Ouya football game that has been embroiled in controversy with its involvement in Ouya's Free the Games Fund, had the highest average pledge per person with $934.48. But this was due to a handful of suspicious backers that each pledged over $10,000 to the project. Something a little bit fishy in there, putting $10,000 to something for a free game?
I feel like someone has some investment.
Yeah.
I don't know how this is going to work.
Like, oh, hey, this game's so good. Look at people pledged over $10,000 to it.
Maybe let's take a typical, generic pizza place. I don't know, say Padre Juan's, to avoid copyright infringement. Let's just say maybe they put down $10,000 to have like their their logo in the background.
Yeah.
Subliminal advertising in a free game.
Who knows what'll happen?
What could be better? Anyways, so the Long Dark is now on Kickstarter, seeking $200,000 from this pre-apocalyptic world. If it ever sees the light, this game will be the debut of Hinterlands Studios, which was announced last week and is being led by Raphael van Lierop, who directed Relics Warhammer 40,000, 40K,
Yeah.
Space Marine, and narrative director on Far Cry 3.
Which is a damn good game.
Both wonderful games.
Right.
You can't go wrong on those. So there's hope for this. The game's Kickstarter page, which also mentions the episodic nature of the content, notes that The Long Dark is a thoughtful first-person survival simulation that emphasizes quiet exploration in a stark yet hauntingly beautiful post-disaster setting. The breathtakingly picturesque Pacific Northwest frames. There's a lot of
Frames of
P's.
There are a lot of P's.
Like we have this pop guard.
Right.
The breathtakingly picturesque Pacific Northwest frames the backdrop of the drama of The Long Dark. Hinterland isn't just one man, though. It includes vets from Volition, Inc., BioWare, and Riot. Ooh.
That league.
That league. The Long Dark is also being supported by Canadian Media Fund. If all goes according to the plan, The Long Dark is scheduled to descend upon us into lonely survival in late 2014.
Yeah. Looked at this game a little bit. It looks pretty good. They have a guy who's done the guy who's done the soundtracks and the compositions and everything for like the Final Fantasy series and other RPGs and games for like the last 25 years. Game companies, now working as an indie developer. Their art director and the guy running almost all of their artwork and looking into 3D sculpting and everything else like that is the guy that's from Riot Games, did stuff on League. So it's gonna look real pretty, and and he's helping to make this.
It's gonna be seamless. It's gonna glitch, and the server's gonna crash.
Hopefully, well, it's looking like a lot of good stuff's gonna come out of there. They have a lot of different people on board, all from major companies that worked on major games.
Yeah,
so hopefully that's gonna be pretty good.
It does seem like they're pushing. I mean, the company obviously they're not like hey, let's find the best people so we can try to sell our studio. No, they're trying to find the best people so that you can actually get a good game. It does look like they're gonna focus a lot on the graphics. They want to make it as beautiful as possible. However, the idea can go really, really well or really,
It could be
bad.
really, really boring since it's based entirely on survival and like finding food and water and shelter and things
singular
like
survival.
that nature.
I'm just saying some of the Grand Theft Auto games we had, actually like work out, eat so much per day, sleep so much per day.
Yeah.
That shit pissed me off, and I'm really kind of hoping that they don't incorporate that into this.
Yeah, it seems like they might try a little bit of that, sort of like the Fallout aspect, where if you go into hardcore mode, you actually do have to eat. If you don't, you'll have like lowered stats and certain things.
Yeah, like
but it's going to be
one
like,
thing, but not like
enemies are now going to be like looters and animals, like wolves and things like that in the wilderness, as you're trying to survive and trying to fight the cold and things like that, which could be really good if you have like a big vast wilderness environment. You can hear they showed in the videos of them actually going on a hike into the woods and recording all the little sounds of bugs, branches breaking, everything. So that could it could be phenomenal if they do it not too much involved in the trying to survive and eat aspect.
Well, there's no doubt that the graphics are going to be great. The way they design the game could actually be really good, really bad. Like Rio was saying, if they go with the hunt to find food aspect, it's going to be really boring, and it's going to be a piss
unless
game.
they find a really unique way of doing it.
Yeah, if they do like a Monster Hunter kind of
Oregon
thing,
Trail where you get to hunt.
Yeah, like a Monster Hunter style game, kind of like hunt down things to survive. Like that might be all right.
We'll have to see.
I'm really, really interested. I'm kind of curious. So I'm going to keep an eye on this. Well, Rio and I will probably both keep an eye on it. He'll keep 4 on it. But yeah, we're gonna pay attention to this, and we're gonna let you guys know what's going on with that. All right.
All right. Let's move on to another one that I'm sure there's a lot of people who will get some nostalgia right in the childhood.
I'm
here.
excited about this one.
Mutant League is back. And if it can get $750,000 in Kickstarter funding. The latest franchise tackling nostalgia for cash is the Sega Genesis era series that combined over-the-top mutant violence with sports ball. It was like the opening scene to Last Boy Scout with zombies, but without the serious. The Kickstarter campaign is actually being headed by Michael Mendheim, the creator and lead designer on the original game. 20 years later, he's trying to bring this thing back. Mendheim wrote on the game's campaign page, quote, Mutant League has also spawned a syndicated television series, a comic, a toy line, and a sequel called Mutant League Hockey. Then the game was suddenly canceled and Mutant League was no more. The new game features will include the use of brutal enforcer players, field obstacles, hazards, player weapons, and dirty trick plays where throwing a bomb is literally throwing a bomb. Now, if successful, Mutant League football is scheduled to take field in the next 14 to 18 months, so not too far away.
There was actually a board game that was based off that. I can't remember the name of it. I want to say like Battle Ball or something like that. Mm-hmm. They had like the giant mutants. It was like 2 different types of mutants, and then you had each breed of mutants had different styles of people, and you got to like pick which positions they were playing and stuff. And obviously, certain ones have better advantages in certain spots. But yeah, it was basically like playing football across a D&D type map. With random obstacles, things coming out of the ground, like actual sword battles while playing football, bombs being thrown, et cetera, et cetera.
We'll have to see how it goes. It would be nice to have the seriousness taken out of a game for once and go back to just to have fun, just being a blunt object.
Well, yeah, like,
having a defensive lineman sack somebody into three pieces.
My favorite sports game, quite possibly, I mean, aside from that one, would probably be like NFL Streets, where like smashing someone's head into a wall was perfectly fine. I like that. I don't know why that game appealed to me, because it's like, hey, I can't do this in real life. But we'll get back to that in the second half. Anyways, Sony's London studio director Dave Reynard will reveal the SingStar franchise's reboot as free-to-play series at next month's free-to-play summit in London. Reynard said Phase 1 was to launch SingStar as an app pinned to the PS3's cross-media bar last October. Phase 2 is a complete redesign and overhaul of the whole game structure and user interface for digital and free-to-play age, which is due for release later this year. Remember, the first person to mention Total Eclipse of the Heart has to buy the songs for the rest of the night.
Don't do it. Don't do it. What I don't get is this is apparently news. The reason I shoehorned this little one in here is because they're bothering to reboot SingStar at all. Do you remember playing SingStar? Do you remember ever caring about SingStar? Anybody else who might have?
I remember playing it once, and then I heard that High School Musical Karaoke was on the Wii, and I played that once, and then I went off to go do drugs. and rethink my life. No, I really didn't do the drugs thing, but I did go off and rethink my life.
Yeah,
So.
it's like of all the things that are going on, there's so many phenomenal things going on. I saw that when I was looking through articles and everything, and that just it jumped out at me just because of how insignificant it was.
So we're making a big deal about something for being insignificant. I love this.
Pretty much, yeah. I'm trying to help them out a little bit, give them a little extra.
They need all the help they can get.
They really do.
By the way, I did a really crappy job crossing out the S on the name tag today.
Yeah, I see. You see, kind of you just see chips here anyway. There was this is red marker trying to cover it. Obviously, you guys can see the pun here, but maybe we should just rip that entire portion of it off. Maybe that'll help.
I don't know if I can do that seamlessly, but we'll see.
Seamlessly, but we'll have to see here. This is a work in progress right here on the show, live. The challenge has been accepted. You have 10 seconds. 10, 9. Well, done, I guess. There we go.
I'm a lazy son of a bitch. What can I say? Sorry, I love you,
And like
Mom.
we said before the show, we're going to use that during speed dating.
Yes.
He throws that on the table, and they go.
I'm also going to have a business card with all my hobbies on it, so I just throw it at him and be like, all right, get naked.
And the hobbies are going to be listed and look like nutritional facts.
Yep.
And the ingredients: love, tenderness, long walks on the beach, league.
None of the above.
League.
All right.
More
Anyways,
league.
it looks like we actually have 3 minutes left. You know, we're a little faster than we thought.
Yeah, we blew through these. The main reason I wanted to blow through them real quick is because of the fact that, like, all right, again, every single time, all the main things we're finding is a lot of new things, a lot of new projects coming on through Kickstarter.
Yeah.
And
You have a hard on for Kickstarter, I swear to God.
yeah, I really do, because a lot of good things are coming out of it.
Notice
Obviously,
the
certain,
angle
like-
the Mac is at, guys. Notice the angle the Mac is at.
Yeah, cover that shit up. You guys don't need to see that. But it goes in part for what we're going to be talking about next half, where we're going to be talking about games that everyone thinks is great, but they're really not. Now we're going off of everyone is thinking these things are great, but these are all people who are just passionate about creating something, aren't just a big name company. I don't know why a steak brush is here.
Is that a steak brush?
It looks like a steak brush.
Yeah, I think it might be. You're right. Sorry, I just saw that and I got confused.
Yeah, see, well, I don't know. But what I'm worried, what I'm concerned with is like these are like the couple ones that we talked about, like Project Phoenix and oh, that's not gonna work. That's ridiculous. But
Rio, tuck it under your headphones.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I could do that.
All right.
This show is just getting more and more absurd. All right.
It's okay. Next time, next week, I might come in shirtless.
Oh, Jesus.
I'll put a shirt on once I get here, but I'm gonna come in shirtless.
All right, but no, like the thing is, like the big name, there are big name players coming together, doing their own projects, making these games. So that's all passion. That's not money. It's all passion. They're getting the money from people who just think it's a good idea.
Yeah, well, that's actually something that's confusing me is why these big name players are getting on Kickstarter and trying to raise the money that way.
Probably because they're sick of shit for doing shit for the money.
You're already big name players. I'm just saying, like,
well, they don't want to put their own paycheck into it, but you got to have. Let's say, like, they have to go through a big board and say, like, here's my idea for this game, and then the board can just simply go, I don't think that's going to work from a business standpoint. But then they can prove them wrong here by that crowdfunding. The people put the money in, and then it pays for itself at that point.
Yeah, I guess that works. Yeah.
So we can get more good games, so that segments like what we're going to do here when we come back from a break won't even need to happen when we talk about all the games that everyone thinks are great and they suck.
Oh, yeah. Gotta love them games. All right. So, yeah, I think you got this part here.
Yeah, we're just going to go ahead and we pretty much we want to have more time when we come back to the break. But when we do come back, I actually don't even know it. When we do come back, we're talking about the shitty games that everyone loves. Chip is going to have a whole lot to say on a lot of these things. All your parents keep telling us that you've all got the cash reserves of a tortilla, though. And you're listening to Unlocked Radio. We will be back in 10.
Language.
Okay, he was PMSing.
You're listening to Morning Show Central Radio Network.
This is President Barack Obama, and you're listening to MSC Radio Network.
Heat 90. P99 Technologies.
Affordable and reliable web hosting done right.
Jumping from one web host to another can be frustrating.
Finding a good web host can be unnerving for even the most experienced of web designers.
That's why Uncensored Net Noise has chosen P99 Technologies as its web hosting supplier. Established in 1999,
P99 Technologies has evolved into a first-class web hosting provider.
its 99.9% uptime rivals many in the industry. That's why they offer their 30-day guarantee.
No questions asked.
For more information, go to P99.com. P99 Technologies will help you get started with your web presence.
With honest and expert customer service.
P99 Technologies. Affordable and reliable web hosting done right. You're listening to Morning Show Central Radio Network. Hey, local bands and unsigned artists. What if I told you there was a place in Cleveland where you can get your merch made and have it sold in one location? What if I said you could bring your CDs and tickets to upcoming shows to this location? And what if I said you could do live acoustic sets at this location?
I bet you're thinking there's no such place in Cleveland. Guess what? You'd be wrong.
Contact Rick Navario at Rock City, Cleveland, and tell him you need merch made and you want to sell it in his store.
Now, how cool is that?
You can tell your fans to come down and get your stuff, and I think he'd ship your products to your fans.
And he's local.
Contact Rick Navario at Rock City, Cleveland today. 216-622-0377.
That's 216-622-0377.
If you're looking for the best in musical equipment, recording gear, sound reinforcement, and more,
Guitar Center has you covered.
Guitar Center, located at 26635 Brook Park Road in North Olmsted, has the tools of your trade.
With the largest selection of music and sound gear in the area.
They cater to your musical needs and have the knowledge to help you out. Guitar Center in North Olmsted. MorningshowCentral.com uses them.
You should too.
Need to know more?
Go to GuitarCenter.com.
I know. Oh my God, I know what we're gonna do. Oh, it's so delicious, I can almost taste it.
If you're looking for the best sub shop in town,
Look no further.
Hanini Subs, located at 7310 Lorraine Avenue, is the place for you.
Stop in for a cold cut sub, cheeseburger and fries, wingdings and fries, and so much more.
Can almost taste it.
Hanini Subs at 7310 Lorraine Avenue is open 24 hours a day. Check them out on Facebook, facebook.com/burrito crazy.
And if you mention MSC Radio Network, you'll get $1 off your meal.
It's all good at Hanini Subs.
So damn good.
Looking for reliable and affordable Shoutcast audio or video hosting? JWN Media offers complete Shoutcast hosting solutions for business or personal use. All plans come with full listener stats, custom web scripts for implementing your service into your existing website, full server control, super fast network, and huge bandwidth limits, a 99.5% uptime guarantee, and friendly, knowledgeable support personnel dedicated to making your hosting experience fun and easy. With plans starting at only $3 a month, you have no excuse not to get a server of your own. Plus, with the option to add auto DJ and on-demand services,
You can be confident your station will be all it can be.
custom plans are also available at their website. Simply visit jwnmedia.com
And click the Shoutcast hosting link to get started right now.
Lakewood Computer, located at 14035 Madison Avenue in Lakewood, has it all. If you're in need of computer repairs or want to cut the cost of ink cartridges and printing supplies, count on Lakewood Computer in Lakewood, Ohio to provide it all. For the past 5 years, Lakewood Computer has been providing you with a huge assortment of computer equipment and services at very competitive prices. Lakewood Computer purchases and sells pre-owned desktops, laptops, and related equipment. And they offer outstanding prices on aftermarket printing supplies, including toner cartridges and ink cartridges. With 29 years of professional experience, Lakewood Computer is highly confident in their ability to enhance your overall computing experience. Check them out online at joeslakewoodcomputer.com. That's joeslakewoodcomputer.com. Or give them a call toll-free, 855-580-0768. That's 855-580-0768.
I knew something was wrong when a little pretty white girl ran into a black man's arms.
You're listening to Morning Show Central Radio Network. If you have a product or service,
Let people know about it.
get your message out there and advertise on MSC Radio Network. It's easier than you think.
And the whole planet is listening.
Find out how you can advertise.
Email Chris at morningshowcentral.com.
Heard of the 7 deadly sins?
You are evil! Pure evil! Pure evil!
There's nothing
Uncensored Net Noise's 7th annual birthday bash.
But I gotta do this.
Friday, September 20th at the Rock City Tap House in Parma.
Live on stage, it's Morality Check, Necros Obscura, The Burning Harlots, Darling Waste, and more for this amazing all-ages show.
Because of your words, I'm now ready to destroy.
All the details for the 7th annual Uncensored Net Noise Birthday Bash
At MSCRadioNetwork.com. User-friendly
and ready to serve.
morningshowcentral.com.
Call the show toll free.
1-888-668-0742.
You're listening to Morning Show Central Radio Network on morningshowcentral.com.
All right, and we're back with more Unlocked Radio right here on Morning Show Central Radio Network. Before the break, we talked about Flat Out, Next Car Game, World 1 and 2 Encore, the Kickstarter campaigns for Project Phoenix, StarCraft Universe, and Mutant Football League. Then SingStar, like anyone gives a shit. And we're gonna be our typical asshole selves and insult some of your favorite games right now. My favorite part of the show.
Yeah,
I've been looking forward to this since we started talking about it like a month ago.
Yeah, we've been having a lot of talks off the show about this, and Chip has come up with a lot of pretty good ideas. We had this thing where everyone likes to do top 10 lists on every show. Any podcast you find gaming-wise, there's going to be top 10 games, worst 10 games, thing whatever. Like, we didn't just want to go over the games that were bad or the games that were good, but we wanted to kind of combine the two to just shitty games that everyone seems to think are great. For instance, Candy Crush.
Hey. Let's start going down the list. We got Gran Turismo first. I'm sorry, if I wanted fucking realism in a goddamn game, I'd go outside and fucking do it myself.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm sorry. If I want to race and try to put like a $200 turbo on a car, smash up the car, have to pay for the repairs before my next race, you know what? I'd go fucking do that.
Yeah, Gran Turismo was one of my biggest gripes because, like, I grew up with, like, Super Mario Kart. Fun game. Growing up, and then you get into like the Xbox and the PS2 days, and you have the Need for Speed Undergrounds, customizing your car, doing a whole bunch of shit with it, driving down like a San Francisco strip, like just fit like 90 miles an hour, but then you're ramping off of everything. That's what I want. You want an action-paced game because that's what you want in a video game. Is you want action. You can't do that with your Ford Focus. You can't do that with the Kia
fantasy.
Soul.
I want the realism. I want to be able. I want to be able to hit a ramp. I want to fly my car. San Francisco 2049 was one of my favorite games because you could smash the fuck out of your car. You had wings that came out of a Formula One race car that you'll never drive. There was tunnels that looped up and over and under the city. I mean, dude, even Hydro Thunder. Loved that game too. You're driving a super powered speedboat through these courses that look like regular roads, but they're not.
Yeah, it's like that's the kind of thing. It's like maybe a little bit of realism in certain games, like certain parts of it, like. The car should look realistic, the engines and parts and the speeds and everything, I guess, should be kind of realistic. But I want to be able to drift around a corner in a Bugatti at 500 miles an hour. I don't want to have to like hit the brakes at the right time and pump it and everything and make sure that I don't ruin my undercarriage. That's some bullshit.
I'm sorry.
I'm not paying $60 for that.
I like the the build up of hey, you can upgrade your car, you can make this better, you can make that better. That's great. Don't get me wrong, love that. But I'm sorry, changing your muffler in a video game,
having to spend like an hour and a half in the tune-up room making sure everything's perfect
for a 3-minute race, and then you're just like, oh look, I have more money now, so now I can I can buy a new exhaust pipe to go with my new muffler. What?
Yeah, in Gran Turismo, you literally have to get a license before you can perform certain races. What is the point of this? Like, what am I going to do next? Am I going to literally race my kids to school in a minivan?
Yeah, like you're illegally racing. Why the fuck do you need a driver's license? Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, street racing and like certain things are okay. I guess certain things, it's kind of cool to see the showcase of all the different cars that you'll never be able to afford, but. I want to do that and then wreck it because it's a video game and in a video game it's not consequential to wreck a $250,000 car.
Yeah, see, like me, it's like I said, I like video games, I like books and stuff because I like to escape reality. Reality fucking sucks. Let me tell you guys.
That's what video games are all about.
Video games, I pay my $60 so that I can wreck a $200,000 car. if I had $200,000, I would probably go out and buy a $200,000 car and wreck it. I don't want to go to a game where I have to get a license, buy a car from a junkyard, work it up, work on the body, repaint it, rebuild the entire engine. Like, fuck that. I just want to get into a car and go. If I can't do that in a video game, I'm going to go do it in real life because I got to have the fun somewhere. I got to smash something up. It's in my blood. It's in my instinct. I have to do it.
Yeah, imagine if you were playing Grand Theft Auto and after you committed your first 3 crimes, suddenly everybody ever knew where you were. There were neighborhood watches, whatever, wanted signs and everything, and you couldn't even walk down the street without having cops chase after you or getting arrested, and couldn't carry an array of weapons. Like, that wouldn't be nearly as fun.
Yeah, which actually brings us to the next one, sort of. Minecraft.
Oh my God, Minecraft! What is everyone's craze with this fucking game?
I have a pickaxe. Dink, dink, dink. Yeah, I have wood. You just hit the ground with a pickaxe for like 5 minutes to get a piece of wood so you could build a square of a house.
Yeah, I understand like the freedom of sandbox and being able to create all these extravagant things, but when they go, I guess like the main one is like their like survival type mode or whatever, something where you actually have to like mine or just mine to get the supplies that you're going to need to craft them together to create a stove, which you can then use to create glass and chop wood and things like that to build your house just for shelter. Like, that doesn't sound fun to me. That sounds like a job. It's like Animal Crossing. Why does everybody like Animal Crossing? It's literally a job that you don't get paid for.
Yep. Hey, I don't want to go to work and get paid to actually do things. But I'm going to spend money on a video game where I can sit there for 12 hours doing the exact same thing for no damn reason.
Right.
Why?
Like, even Sims, I get because of the fact that you get to like build and model your dream house. They give you the cheats right there in the game where if you don't want to go through the hard shit, you can just give yourself a bunch of money and create this nice extravagant house.
Well,
and then live in it how you see fit.
Minecraft has that too. Where you can just, they have the different, thing where you can just build. You don't unlimited resources of all kinds. You just build whatever the fuck you want to build.
But what's the objective? That's the thing.
Make something cool and fun.
Yeah, but even like in Sims, they give you objectives. Your goal is to try to like continue this person's life. Yeah. You have things to manage. You have their hunger and their energy and things like that. You have to create friendships. You go through different types of jobs that you can do. They give you objectives that they call wishes and things that you have things. You have a goal. Yeah. You're not just building for the sake of building.
Now, you notice we're not talking about the graphics on this because you know what? We don't really care about the graphics. We care about the gameplay itself.
Yeah.
So, but like Minecraft, I really don't understand the concept. I don't understand the hype about it. I mean, I tried it, and I'm like, hey, this is cool for like 5 minutes. Awesome.
Yeah, 3D 8-bit graphics seems kind of cool at first, and you're like, all right, what's this game all about? And then you're like, oh, I'm just chopping shit and then making more shit.
All my friends are like, oh, it's gonna suck your life in, and I'm like, you know what? Everyone says that about a lot of things, and it didn't happen.
Yeah, one of our coworkers talked about how their girlfriend made something, like they spent all this time making one big like monument statue thing or whatever and had their name in it and everything, and then after that they didn't do a damn thing with it.
Yeah, but they still play the game every day. It's like, how do you spend more than 8 hours playing this game ever, let alone 8 hours a day? I don't get people's mindset on that. It's fucking ridiculous. Anyways,
all right, what's another one?
Next one up was Halo. I have my list up on my phone
Halo. Everyone, when Halo first hit the scene, everyone was going on and on about how this is the greatest game. I was like, dude, it's not even the greatest in its genre. Half-Life was better than this.
Yeah.
Doom was better than this. Duke Nukem was more fun. Dude, all these games were...
I loved Halo. I really did.
The campaign was great. Don't get me wrong.
Mind you, I was the peak of my anger when I transitioned from GoldenEye to this. So it's like, all right, I can kill something and watch this blood splatter across the wall. That I liked. That I really got into that. But other than that, the storyline itself, after the first one, seemed to get a little hectic, a little chaotic. It didn't quite make sense anymore.
It seemed like they didn't have it planned out, and they just wung it. They just wang it from there. Wang it, wing it, winged it, wang it, wung it.
Wang it.
Wang it, dubstepped it.
They just kind of threw it out there like, hey, let's just keep this franchise going with no discernible direction, really, it seemed. And then it's like, all right, so now your storyline sucks. Your gameplay is not even the top of its class, and yet everyone still is obsessed with Halo. And, I don't get me wrong, I love Halo, I really do. It's a great game, at least the first one. But it's one of those games that sucks, but you still love it, and that's what this whole segment's about.
Yeah, my biggest thing, and the biggest reason that I also voted for having this game on the list was because the main feature, the main thing that everyone plays Halo for is the multiplayer, and the multiplayer is what I think is the worst part about the game. Playing through the campaign and being able to do co-op and stuff, especially with the first one, that was what made the game for me. That's why I liked Halo, was going through when you like playing with a friend for the first time playing this game, and like you're up until like 2:30 in the morning still playing through the campaign on a co-op on
All right, you
like
take
heroic.
the sniper and the pistol. I'm gonna take the plasma rifle and the pistol.
The thing is, when you first got to the flood, I was like, fuck yes. When you first got to the flood, that captivated me. I was literally frantically shooting at everything that was coming at me. With you have you and your friends split screen. You're like, you guard that side, I guard this side. You got that side, and you're like, it's not working, and they start running away. You're like, you're not checking your position. Like arguing back and forth, that was fun. And then the Warthog, having one person drive or one person guns, you're like, what are you doing? Do you not know how to drive? I can't shoot this if you're falling and flipping us over every 5
Then
seconds.
you switch every time you flip over, and then you reverse roles. You're both bitching about each other's driving. It's like, all right, so apparently no one knows how to drive this fucker. Cool. But yeah, one of my least favorite things about that was like, hey, the shotgun doesn't have a scope. Okay, I understand. Shotgun shouldn't have a scope because it doesn't matter if you can see that far away. You're not going to shoot that far away accurately with a 20 gauge.
Right.
I'm sorry, 100 yards. You're already getting a spread about 10 feet. It's got a good spread.
No shotgun has that kind of a spread. No care what the hillbilly says. It's got a good spread.
It's got a great spread. The problem is it spreads too quick, and you can almost dodge the pellets at that point.
Yeah. And then you came up with Halo 2, and then you had the dual wielding, which is the dumbest mechanic ever.
If you had the pistol and the shotgun, you could still snipe with the shotgun. You could scope with the pistol, change guns, fire the shotgun as you're changing, and you would hit the target that you had focused before. It's like, how?
Yeah, create some goddamn consistency here, people.
Like, I can't kill you with the pistol because you're too far away, so it dulls the power of the pistol. The pistol's weak anyways.
Yeah, so
but I use its scope so that I can shoot you with the shotgun, and you're dead.
Yeah. And I like how somehow a pistol was the most powerful thing, more powerful than everything else. So after people learned how to cheat, that sort of thing, and then you have everybody cheating in general all the time. And it comes to like the multiplayers and the servers and everything. There's no security there. You have 13-year-old kids just running amok and just calling being every racist comment that you can possibly think of because these kids are 12 and through and over a headset and then a TV screen, a controller, everything else.
Yeah, there's the internet between you and the person you're talking to, so everyone's a badass.
Yeah, so that already ruins the fun for me. Not to mention the physics are awful and the accuracy and things therein are awful. I don't understand how I can shoot somebody right in the face 3 times, they don't die, but they come up and then they can hit me they can butt me with the pistol and I'm dead. Like, what?
Yeah. That never really made sense to me either. Like, hey, I shot you in the face with a shotgun 3 times from like point blank, and that got rid of your shield. Or I can walk up behind you and just melee with the pistol. You're dead. What?
Yeah, there's certain things just didn't make.
You're not Spock.
Sense.
There's no neck pinch. You're hitting him with a pistol. Yeah. It's like 10 pounds at most. At most.
The one thing I will have to say about Halo, okay, give it the one redeeming factor is like the campaign, like I said in the first one, was really good. Being able to do co-op and stuff was pretty good.
Yeah.
And then the fact that Halo is technically the reason that we are able to have a gaming show today. It is one of the games that brought gaming back to the forefront as a popular thing, like it was in the 80s where arcades were a big thing and everyone loved it. And it was and then the 90s came around and suddenly you were a loser and you were a nerd if you play games. And then now at once like 2005 hit and people were doing Halo competitively, and now competitive gaming is happening to the point where you can play League of Legends and win $1 million in a tournament.
Yeah.
So we'll give it that.
Yeah.
But as far as the mechanics and like the biggest factor of it, which is multiplayer, is not impressive.
Yep.
But everyone loves it.
All right,
what do we have next on the list?
Next on our list was Candy Crush.
Yeah, Candy Crush is one. Oh my God. Candy Crush. Let's talk about how this game is pretty much the same as a million other puzzle games. Why is it a big thing now?
Let's go back to Sega Genesis, Bejeweled. All right, graphics weren't that great. What can we work with? What can we do? Make Bejeweled. Great game, addictive. For some reason, people love it, and it sucks. Anyways.
And notice how we got in all caps, screw that game in the chat as soon as we even mention Candy Crush.
Yeah. So, like, you know, Candy Crush, like, all right, cool. Like, it's Bejeweled. And, like, I admit I'm guilty of this, too. It's crack, dude. I swear to God. I got addicted to it.
Yeah. I think only for the sense that it shows you other people's high scores and you feel the competitive you have to beat it.
Even before I linked to my my Facebook, I still, like, I was addicted to that game. I don't know why. It was, like, I like puzzles and I like doing that. But for some reason, Candy Crush is like, hey, completely random bullshit game that has nothing to do with any real puzzles. It's just how quick can you spot and move things.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, I'm going to give you a limited amount of moves to hit a certain score that's static, but this is going to be random every time. So somebody else could just get lucky and get a really high score, get a really good chain going, but if you don't have that good luck of the draw, it's stumped. And that's not a puzzle. That's playing war. That's shuffling the deck, giving each person a half, and then just flipping over cards. Who has a higher card? That's what that is.
Yep. So, I mean, addictive, but still horrible.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just certain things like that I don't like.
Yeah.
Also the fact that they had they keep shoving it down your throat to connect it to Facebook so that you can get lives, and you need to ask other people like to get the tickets or whatever to move on to the next section of levels and things like that. Why can't I just keep playing my game? And if I'm good at it and I keep beating the levels, why can't I keep going on my own?
That was actually why I deleted it, because I got tired of the fact that I had to wait for a fucking month to get 3 goddamn tickets, and I ended up getting 3 of them from the same person, thanks to Rio's girlfriend. Actually, I think it was Bree that sent them to me. I don't remember. Either way, whatever. Next on the list was Madden.
Oh, jeez.
Same game, year after fucking year. Come on,
I'm sure
guys.
plenty of people are going to be mad at us for saying Madden, and including people that are in the studio right now. But
yeah, there's probably a couple.
The problem is it's a cardboard cutout. You're making this game, and it's like, okay, a football game, fine. Changing the roster and things, fine. But why do you pay another $60 for this every single time?
Yeah, why don't you just pay like every year, like just pay $10, update the roster online, done.
Right.
Update the playbook online. Like a $10 like bundle.
Should be a download, add new features and update the mechanics and fix bugs and things like that. Give you a new roster. That should be the end of it.
Well, yeah, the part that like really gets me on that is like, okay, yeah, it's a cookie cutter game. It's the same thing year after year after year after year. Same exact game. Like I said, you're just updating, maybe updating the graphics. You're updating the rosters. You're updating the playbooks. Okay, that's it. Other than that, same game. You actually don't even have to play. You can just put it on AI versus AI, which we actually plan on doing at some point.
Yeah. Well, now it doesn't work the same, but go on with what you're saying.
But yeah, so I mean, like you have all that, but like you go to a game store and you see a game you really want, and it's $60. You see Madden, $60. You come back a week later, that game that you wanted, the first game you wanted, all right, it's like $55 now. Hey, drop $5. All right, that it's going somewhere. You look over at Madden and you're like, and that's 15.
Yeah. You don't get it again.
Huh.
It's like you can go and you see like the Maddens in like the $5 section. Like I wonder why that is.
There's like no replay value whatsoever on that.
You're just filling the shelves with used games because everyone's just gonna return it so then they get the next one. You don't have certain games, like really good games, you will keep in your roster and on your shelf for like 20 or 10, 20 years, however long your system lasts.
I still have Sonic the Hedgehog too. I still have my Sega Genesis in all my games because they're good games. Thank God I never bought any of the sports games because again, it's the same thing, and like there's no replay value to them, so you're just gonna get rid of them. And the worst part is because everyone's getting rid of them, there's no demand for them. There's no want for them, and you don't get crap back for them. Like, hey, I'll give you a stick of gum for that game.
I also don't like about the fact that like certain things like, all right, if I'm going to get a new game with a new roster for this new season, I want to play out a season. Now they changed that where like in old games, you would play out a season. It would give you a calendar. You would do it. You would pick your team. You would follow it. You'd make the roster as you saw fit, and then you'd see how well yours did against the actual season. And kind of like fantasy football a little bit, but you do it with your friends and you see who's better at it. And then they changed it to now it's like you're doing an entire era and you're managing an entire stadium. And it's like, what? Why do I want to just sit here and manage like how much like seats are and how much a hot dog is in my stadium? Make my own team and things like that. In a sense, that could kind of be cool if it lasted more than a year before the next one came out.
Yeah, I mean, like if you're doing that, if you're going along those lines, like you should at least connect the game so that whatever you did the year before carries over. So like, oh, hey, I have this team, I have this, I bought these players, whatever. And then when you get the next, year with the updated roster, the updated, playbook and stuff, you can just import what your roster is.
We have someone in the chat that said make a female football game, and I bet that would sell better. Didn't they have the lingerie bowl?
Yeah,
like make that into a game.
Yeah, they made
I'm sure like the Dead or Alive beach volleyball version of football would be.
They actually made the lingerie football league into a video game, and I think it sold less than 1 million copies. So
well, I guess you messed something up.
Yeah, I guess the gameplay on that wasn't even good, and apparently the graphics weren't good enough for you to actually care about bouncing tits.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, make a new one every few years, and then just keep updating the one that you have until like the game mechanics and the things you've reinvented are significant enough to release a new game for $60.
Yeah.
All right, what else we have on the list? Because that's going to go for all sports games, really.
Next on the list was Solitaire. Enough said.
Oh my
Everyone
God.
loves it. It's on every computer you ever got. It sucks, but you can't stop playing it. And if you don't have a computer, you're probably gonna grab a deck of cards, deal it out yourself, and start playing it.
Right. Actually, there was a group of us in our network communications technology class in high school that decided to reprogram all the copies of Solitaire in the computers in the classroom, so that and then when we were also networking the entire school and giving all the teachers and new computers for each individual classroom, we made sure that Solitaire, when it opened up, would end up going into a blue screen and shut down the computer. It's like, don't play Solitaire. And they wouldn't figure it out. They're like, I don't know what's going on. And then they call us in. And then that's technically extra credit for us to go and fix another person's computer while we were learning how to do it. But we would just snicker because like we don't want you to play Solitaire because it sucks.
Next up was Call of Duty. I just want to skip over that one because I got to say the same shit about that.
Pretty much said the same thing about Madden. Yeah, Madden. Oh no, more. It's kind of like Halo and Madden together. Yeah. Granted, it's a lot more accurate.
It's a different war, and we have different guns. And the only reason anyone ever plays Call of Duty anymore is if you're 12, if you're on PlayStation Network playing with friends, or if you're killing zombies.
Here's the thing: Call of Duty, their campaigns, a different one every time, and the campaigns are always good. They make everything really cinematic, and they do a lot of cool stuff with it. But then the multiplayer has something to be lacking again because they make a new one every year, Madden style, and it's like you don't need to do this every single time and milk it for all the cash it's worth. That's not appealing to the gamers. That's appealing to your wallet.
Yeah,
and that's a pretty big significance because I used to love Call of Duty. Now I hate it.
Well, the reason they're releasing a new one every year is because of different war and because of the different campaign. That's actually the whole point of the game, was to be the campaign. The only reason I want to buy any of them is just for the Nazi zombies because, well, that's the only part of that game I actually enjoyed playing.
Yeah, which is already mentioned in the chat too.
Yeah, I played the campaign. I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Oh, see, I like that part about it just because I mean it made it more interesting than just, hey, load up a map, shoot people, load up another map, shoot more people, load up another map, shoot more people, and all the while little young teenagers talking shit the entire time.
Saying
that's like that ruins it for me. Like I miss like playing Call of Duty competitively. Was a lot of fun.
I want to get moving because we got about 6 minutes and we got like 5 more games on this.
Do we really have that many more on the list? We probably we made there's
13.
A lot of games.
We got Guitar Hero. Yeah, let me push another one that's on a stick.
Notice the trend of games that come out every year and keep shoehorning games out is on this list.
No one said it better than MC Lars, Guitar Hero. Hero, that song.
Guitar Hero.
Go listen to that, and that basically expressed opinion on Guitar Hero. Next up, World of Warcraft. Sucks your life in. Completely fucking pointless. I played Guild Wars, and
frickin' MMOs.
Guild Wars had a much better storyline, if you ask me, and you didn't have to keep buying the next fucking bundle. And it's not a month-long subscription, and it's like...
And what did I say about it when we were talking about it when we were making this list about how when someone tells you, like when you say you don't like World of Warcraft, I'm like, I'm just grinding and doing the same thing over and over and over again. And they go, oh, it's really good when you get to the max level, when you get to level 40 or whatever, level 50. And every time it's like, okay, so once you've leveled out and grinded for hours and hours and hours and spent hundreds of hours, literally, grinding your character to the max level, then you can perform raids, then you can do PvP, then you can do shit that actually matters. How is that considered fun?
Yeah, you grind out paying $15 a month, I think it is. So you're paying $15 a month to sit there and grind for like 6 months until you get to the max level, and then you can actually enjoy the game.
Yeah, you know where that kind of system mechanic actually works? In fighting.
Yeah.
You actually have that's what you actually have to. It makes sense to spend 100 hours training and going through and studying martial arts and everything else before you end up getting in the ring with somebody. You don't just run up in the ring immediately and like do that like with this.
Yeah,
but with
it's
a game,
I'm saying if
you
you
don't
want
do
to
that.
Yeah, if you want to spend $100 trying to get to max level before you can even perform raids, buy the Diablo trilogy, including the expansion packs, and you'll have a lot more fun. Trust me.
What else do we got on the list?
Next up was the GTA series.
Okay, GTA series again. This is something that has their good and their bad. Now, while we're saying that these are shitty games everyone loves, I want to make the disclaimer that some of these games are games that we also enjoy.
Yeah,
but we are able to admit when they actually suck.
Yeah, we're bashing the shit out of them, but most of these games we're actually addicted to.
So. Right now, GTA has got its ups and downs, like GTA 3, Vice City, San Andreas. Especially San Andreas is the one I really wanted to focus on because everyone raves about how that's the best one, but like. No, it's not. What kind of game can you get fat in from eating? And I had to actually go in and pump iron and manage all these other things. It's like, yeah, but it wasn't to that severe of an extent.
Yeah, see, the GTA, like you have, all right, it's a sandbox game. It's open. You can do whatever the fuck you want. It's great. I love that. I really do. I really like that fact. Unfortunately, I tried doing a couple missions, and I'm like, hey, I got bored. I'm going to go kill hookers.
Somebody in the chat said, if I wanted to play GTA, I would go to the east side on St. Clair. That's where we are.
Just make sure you get out of your make sure you get out of your car with a crowbar.
Jeez.
There's so much to say about that one. We don't have nearly enough time. Pokemon Snap is actually the one I really wanted to focus on.
Oh God!
Because everyone remembers Pokemon Snap,
and their memory of it is so much better than it actually is.
Yeah, you go back and replay it now. You're like, oh man, it was such a good game. Such a good game. You sit down and play it now. You're like, how the fuck did I ever spend 8 hours
sitting in a rail car taking pictures,
throwing apples? Let's see if I get a better picture. Let's see if I can get Charizard coming out of the volcano by knocking a Charmeleon into the fire.
If there was some sort of Pokemon brain virus that made them all go nuts and it turned into like a Jurassic Park type thing and you had to survive, then maybe. But really, I'm just taking pictures.
Yeah.
Like, everything that's in the game, you could literally just go to Google image search and you have played the whole game. Just look at the pictures. Look at them. Just look at them. Look at how pretty they are.
Now here's
look
the
at
fun
that
part.
Pikachu.
All right, I really think that this is actually why there's so many like 16-year-olds that walk around with their like $1,300 Nikons taking pictures of flowers, thinking they're a professional photographer.
That's because of Pokemon.
Yeah, I really think that game gave way to this. So I actually have to blame Pokemon for this horrible outrage. Then we have Angry Birds.
Speaking of being angry.
Dear God.
How you could made a huge game off of a slingshot. It created this huge thing. Like they have action figures. They have like little toy games where you actually just take a little fat bird and just boop, 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 rubber band and like.
Are you talking like they have the stuffed animals? They have fruit snacks. They have like.
The fruit snacks are real damn tasty, though. I won't lie to you. They're really good. They're way better than the Mario snacks, which makes me really upset.
Yeah, that kind of suck. But yeah, they come out with a new one like every year or something like that. And Angry Birds, like there was games like that before that no one cared about. There was like castle games like that where you're like shooting dragons from the castle, almost like a dumbed down Tower D side scroller type thing. And now you have Angry Birds, which is pretty much the same exact game, but with birds and pigs, and everyone went apeshit over it because it's on your phone.
See, it was a much better game that had a slingshot. Problem Child. Oh, God. Old Sega CD having Problem Child, and you got to shoot the principal right in the back of the dome. Just pop. That's like, but sitting here literally knocking down a bunch of things. Like, again, one of those things where these games have happened. They're on PC for free, and now I'm downloading and paying for whatever, like different versions. Angry Birds Star Wars, Angry Birds Space, like changing the different physics of it. And they like, well, how? I played it. I tried. I gave it an hour, and I was beyond bored.
I like space. I'm not gonna lie. I got into space.
I just don't know how much better it could possibly get at this point.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're getting short on time here, so because new time slot, certain things happen. But I'd like to thank all of you for watching today's episode of Unlocked Radio, and I want to thank my co-host Chip for actually joining us tonight and assisting with the transition to our new time slot.
Hey, what can I say, man? Big boys got big boy jobs. Check out Hanini Subs at 7310 Lorraine Avenue for the best subs in town. And while you're there, tell them MSC Radio Network sent you. Get $1 off your meal.
Yeah.
All right. And then Yep, we are your hosts, Chip and Rio. We'll be here every Monday, our new time slot, 6 p.m.
He's so enthusiastic.
Oh, yeah. Anyways, let's skip over all this crap.
Yeah.
We're going to Smedley's at West Park and Cam's Corner on Lorraine Avenue for drinks. Stop by, see your favorite radio show.
Actually, in a couple hours this time. We're used to heading straight there. That's going to be new also. We're actually going to have time to maybe grab something to eat, grab their bar food, which is actually pretty damn delicious.
I'm grabbing a burger, maybe some wings.
Yeah,
so.
Remember to like us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, and check out our website. Also, show some love to Morning Show Central because they make all of this possible.
And stop touching yourselves because that's where the dinosaurs died.
That's why the dinosaurs died. All right, have a good night, guys. Ready for High on Sports, by the way.
High on Sports.